Great Britain is a large island in the North Atlantic Ocean off the northwestern coast of Europe. The island first inhabited by people who crossed over the land bridge from Europe in 2,400 years ago before Christ. Around 1700 years later, another group of people began to arrive, the Celts. They know how to work with iron. They can make the labor tools, so they came to the agriculture. Because the good geography condition was the iron tools, Britain became a delicious land to roam. The Romans had started to invade Britain. They also brought the skill of reading and writing to Britain, as well as Latin language. Because the good geography condition was the iron tools, Britain became a delicious land to roam. The Romans had started to invade Britain. They also brought the skill of reading and writing to Britain and Latin language. Another group that was more warlike is Anglo-Saxon. These invaders came from the three powerful Germanic tribes, the Saxons, Angles, and Jutes. Towards the end of the 8th century, new raiders were tempted by Britain's wealth. These were the Vikings. They came from the Norway and Denmark. The Middle Ages started with the fall of Rome. After the fall of Rome, many different people wanted to take control of different areas of land. In 1060, the Duke of Normandy from France invaded England and became king. The king organized his English kingdom according to the feudalism system to maintain his power and military. Feudalism system involved four levels of the society. The king was at the top. He was the leader of the entire kingdom. Beneath him, the feudal class, also known as the noble. Following the laws were knights. Finally, on the bottom of the society were the peasants and farmers. Henry II wanted to take on the power of the church, and he ended up dead on the cathedral floor. 400 years later, his namesake, Henry VIII, took on the power of the church again, and this time he won. By 1528, Henry had been married to Catherine for 20 years, but she couldn't give him a boy. To divorce Catherine, he needed the permission of the church, which was controlled by the Pope in Rome, and the Pope said no. What happened next? Henry recognized that if there were no Pope, he could get his divorce. And so just because Henry wanted to marry his mistress, the church in England split from the Church of Rome. A new religion has established, Protestant. In the Stuart Age, the King Charles wanted to rule the country without parliament. It led to the Civil War. At the end, the parliament won and executed the king. England were under the strict military control of Cromwell and passed through a period without king. Coming to the 18th century, the policy has some change. The government system now includes the crown and parliament, but the power belongs to the cabinet, a group of ministers that make decisions on policy. The society was divided into four groups. At the bottom were the poor worker. Over, the skilled craftsmen. Above them there are rich merchants and traders. Finally, gentry on the top. There was a huge gap between the rich and poor. The income of a worker is around £15 a year, while the duke gets £100,000 each year. The 18th century in Britain associated with the Industrial Revolution. The invention of steam engine led Britain to the leading iron and steel producer in Europe. In 19th century, the French Revolution spread fear all over Europe. One by one the European countries were defeated by Napoleon, and Britain is not an exception. In 1793, Britain went to war after France had invaded the Low Countries. Britain decided to fight France at sea because it had a strong navy, by retaining French ships, including the navy, from moving freely in and out of French seaport. On land, with the support of Portuguese and Spanish allies, Britain finally defeated Napoleon and gained a strong place in European councils. At the start of the 20th century, Britain was still the greatest power, but by the end of the 70s, Britain was no longer the world power at all because of the two world wars. The rapid development of Germany has threatened the wealth of the powerful countries, including France, Russia, and Britain. In 1914, Germany declared war on Russia. France placed its support for Russia. Sooner, Germany declared war on France. Because Britain wanted to support France, it declared war on Germany. Finally, Germany closed the game and surrendered. The banishment of Germany at the end of the First World War, together with the Hitler goal of restoring the pride and power of Germany, and Japan's desire to imperialize Asia, led to the Second World War in 1936. At this time, Germany, Italy, and Japan is one group Axis power, the other groups is allies, including Britain, France, and America. Sooner, the war exploded all over the world. At the end, the Allies won, and a new international order was established. The first decade of the 20th century was eventful in several respects, but the event that most affected the people in Britain was the Great Recession. The price of houses kept rising, and rising. Finally, it led to the bursting of a housing bubble. The British economy was affected seriously. The national debt increased, the employment rate rose up. That was a really difficult time for Britain's economy. Recently, the latest event is Brexit. A referendum was held on Thursday, 23rd June, to decide whether Britain should leave or remain in the European Union. Some want to leave, some want to stay. Finally, Leave won by 52% to 48%. Britain officially leave the European Union by the next year.